Back in 1974, I was given a Pyrex baking dish, a spatula, and a recipe for lasagna. It was given to me by my girlfriend's grandmother for my bridal shower. A few weeks later, it was time for me to entertain my parents and my new in-laws for the holidays. Guess what I decided to make? Mrs. DiCindio's lasagna. Let's get started. Mrs. DiCindio's recipe makes a lot. 2 entire lasagnas. Eat one, freeze one. How fantastic is that? I'm sauteing 6 pounds of the leanest ground beef I can get my hands on with a pound of sausage, a pound of sliced mushrooms, and a pound of diced onions. She's also instructed me to add a heavy dose of Italian seasoning blend. This has been on the stove for about 15 or 20 minutes. The mushrooms have released all of their moisture, so have the onions, and the bottom of my pan is just about dry. So I'm going to do what every good Italian cook does. I'm adding a half a cup of red wine, and I'm going to add 3 cups of a tomato product. Mrs. DiCindio says crushed tomatoes. So I'm adding 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. Now, if you don't want to use the crushed tomatoes, feel free to use your homemade tomato sauce or your favorite store-bought sauce. That's how easy this is. The only thing left to do with this is stir it all together, and we really want to take our time and incorporate all of the wonderful tomatoes into all of this flavored meat. And that's another thing I like about Mrs. DiCindio's recipe. She flavored the meat, and all we did was add the tomatoes. And we're going to let this simmer for 30 to 40 minutes until it's all reduced and thickened up. The sauce is done. Thick, rich, gorgeous. Smells wonderful. Seasoned perfectly. By the way, this is a great meat sauce if your kids like spaghetti and meat sauce. I'm going to turn this off. We're going to take this over to the counter, and I'm going to show you how quick it is to assemble Mrs. DiCindio's lasagna. It's time to assemble our lasagna. I've placed a thin layer of our finished sauce in the bottom of my 9x13 baking pan. The next thing is you're going to need a half of a 1-pound box of lasagna noodles for each of the 2 lasagnas. And Mrs. DiCindio says there's no reason to cook these noodles as long as your sauce is hot when you put the lasagna together. So I'm going to start by layering 4 lasagna noodles, and these are the real noodles, not the fancy no-boil kind. And 1 noodle that I've broken the end off to fit in the empty space. How easy is that? The next thing we're going to do is layer our cheeses. And Mrs. DiCindio says there's no reason to stand around and grate cheese all afternoon. Just ask the person at the deli counter to kindly slice your cheeses thin enough so that you can just simply layer them on your lasagna. I'm starting with Cooper CV. A substitute for this would be white American cheese. And I'm just going to put, and look at how my deli person sliced it for me. It doesn't get any easier than this. So I'm going to put 10 pieces of Cooper CV across the bottom. I'm going to try to move here a little bit faster. The next thing I'm going to put on here is provolone cheese, and this has been sliced perfectly for me too. I'm just going to, side by side, arrange 6 slices of provolone. Same with our mozzarella. How easy is this? And the other thing I like about using sliced cheese is you get a lot more ingredients in your lasagna pan rather than airspace that the grated cheese actually takes up. So we've got 6 slices of mozzarella. And now we're going to place another layer of sauce right on top. Oh, this smells wonderful. I can't wait for you to taste this. Another layer of our meat sauce right on top. Almost done. That's just about perfect. And next, we've got, of course, our Parmigiano Reggiano on top of this is going to melt right into the sauce. Nice little helping of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this up with another layer of noodles. I'm going to repeat this entire process, and it's time to bake. In about 5 or 6 minutes, I've assembled this wonderful lasagna. And as you can see, I have half of the meat sauce left, and I'm going to go on and I'm going to make another one. Now my choice right now is bake or freeze. I'm either going to pop this in the oven or I'm going to cover it and I'm going to freeze it and eat it at a later date. It wouldn't be the holidays without serving at least one Italian feast to my family. Last time I showed you how to have fun with frico, a really fabulous hors d'oeuvre. This time we're having Mrs. DiCindio's lasagna. Stay tuned to our next show when I show you how to make crema caramella, a fabulous Italian dessert. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.